This video introduces 3 articles. They're all based around George Fairholme's work. George Fairholme wrote about 1830 to 1840 on the subject of geology. And he was honestly and fairly trying to engage with the geological ideas of the time. He was arguing for the flood being the main cause of the rock formations, the main cause of the valleys and the way they all fitted together, the main cause for sea erosion and the main cause for waterfall erosion. He argued that all these things were consistent with a worldwide flood. Terry Mortison's article gives a quite detailed exposition of his work. I do a summary of the book that I've read, and I've also included a copy of that book. But what this particular author does, George Fairholme, shows that even in the period of 1830 to 1840, there were competent geologists who argued quite strongly and I think effectively, had they been listened to, for Noah's flood and against an old earth. The trouble was they were not listened to, they were not engaged with, and their arguments were not refuted, and the church did not defend their position. And that was a tragedy, because the next time we were going to encounter a properly thought out scientific response to geology will be in 1960 with the Genesis flood by Whitcomb and Morris. For 120 years, the church will be without any academic credibility for the worldwide flood. And the result was catastrophic. Increasingly, you see in the Bible commentaries no references to a universal flood, no references to a young earth, and really by the time we get to the middle of the 20th century, apart from a very few fundamentalist places, and even the fundamentalists didn't believe in a young earth, most of them would still have gone for an old earth, a gap theory or other things. There would have been very few seminaries, very few universities, very few academic institutions who would be teaching a young earth situation. And it's no surprise then that the Bible loses its credibility amongst lay people. And the rise and the rapid rise of atheism that we see today can be put down to the fact that for 200 years the Bible has not been considered credible in academic circles. And it is my heart's desire that that can be reversed, because the information for that reversal is all there. But Fairholme is an interesting example to show us that in 1830 there were people who could have defended the Bible and stopped the rot. Tragedy, it was not taken up. And as they say, the rest is history. And you must remember that materialism has had catastrophic effects. Witness World War I and World War II and European and Asian communism, all of which were based on atheistic ideas that came out of an old earth scenario, because it was the old earth scenario that gave birth to Darwin's theory of evolution, and it was Darwin's theory of evolution that laid the foundation for intellectually robust atheism. Well, thank you for listening, and do consider these issues, because they are really important if we're going to turn around our world and society and get it onto a proper foundation. Thank you.